Morning, everyone. Just recap and retrospective on yesterday's long run and kind of where I'm at today. Um, so yeah, it was 21.2k, so half marathon distance. I targeted just under 20k. That was my sort of 10% increment on the previous week, and did a bit more than that, which was great to be back to that distance. However, it's always a bit of a concern that push things too hard. Um, but yeah, I'd kind of gone a certain route that meant I had no option but to do the kind of half marathon distance. And my knee was starting to get a bit sore in the last 4k or so. It's the outside of my knee. So around about this part here in my knee. And what I think is happening is that as my leg muscles get tired, my foot is collapsing a bit, or as my feet get tired probably, my foot is collapsing a bit, and as I'm running, my knee is turning in a little bit and then putting a bit of outward pressure on here. So yeah, I have plans to go to a podiatrist to maybe, well, get a biomechanical evaluation, see if I need orthotics or something, just to give my foot a bit more support. So my right foot's, my fourth toe is doing something a bit funny, and yeah, so I've got issues in there. I've been seeing, getting a bit of sports massage for a long time now, just due to that sort of right side, and I think it's all related. So I'm back there on Tuesday, so it'll be interesting to see how things are there. But knees actually fine this morning. Yesterday when running, I mean, cardio was spot on. I did keep the pace really slow, and cardio, my average heart rate I think was 133. So I spent 80% of my time in that sort of zone 2 aerobic time, and yeah, really felt brand new. Overnight my resting heart rate was about 43, so that's maybe not quite as low as I get. I mean, my resting heart rate can go down to about 40, 41, but for it to be at 43 after a half marathon run, I think shows that I didn't really tax myself kind of too much. I do pay quite a lot of attention to Garmin body battery, and for those of you that don't know, so body battery looks at basically your heart rate variation. So heart rate variation is if you're rested and fit and sort of recovered and you're in pretty good shape, the time between beats of your heart's always varying a little bit, and this is the balance between your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So your sympathetic, your fight or flight nervous system, is what your body responding to stress. And when you're not stressed, these two systems are always just kind of fighting for a bit of, just always keeping each other in check and in balance. And so sometimes the sympathetic nervous system will make your heart rate go a little bit quicker. Sometimes the parasympathetic will make it go a little bit slower. But there's always just this little bit of variation. However, when you're under stress, the sympathetic nervous system sort of is a little bit more dominant, and so your heart rate will be faster, but also more regular because it's dominating that equation. And so Garmin have this body battery measurement, which looks at heart rate variation, and so it's a 0 to 100 score. And yeah, so I was overnight, I was up to about 91, which is pretty good for me after a long run at this stage. Often, maybe after a hard run, I'll only recover to about sort of 70 odd. But yesterday, when I went to bed, it was about 37. And I've seen times when I've had things like COVID or some sort of virus where your body's under a lot of stress, so that sympathetic nervous system's like really working hard to fight the stress that the infection is causing. And I can see my body battery going down. You can taking a massive hit, going down to like 6 or 7, and being at that entirely while I have the bug. And then you can see as you start to sort of kick it, and that heart rate variation starts to improve. So yeah, cardio good, and actually muscular wise, like strength wise, and my legs didn't feel tired in the run. It was just this sort of knee problem. So today, just a bit of a rest day really. Did some light dynamic stretching this morning. This guy called Tom Morrison, and he's got a sort of daily flow you can do. I'll put a link to his video below. And I do that with just some other little bits and pieces of stretching, trying to favour dynamic stretching where possible, and just sort of taking it easy. A few little bits and pieces, a few sort of sit-ups to work on core and things like that. So yeah, just a bit of a rest day, kind of moving around. I mean, ultimately, it would be quite nice to go out for a bit of a cycle. Unfortunately, family circumstances are not allowing that. Jen and Iona are off to do Monroe, and so I'm here with Murdo, and he's not really feeling like going for a cycle today. So we're going to go out for a bit of a walk, and that'll just kind of ease the legs off a little bit. And then the other really important thing is I'll be just making sure my nutrition's pretty good today. So just making sure the protein intake's good. And I don't do a huge amount of supplementation. I do take a little bit extra whey protein just to kind of boost my protein a bit, and easily digestible high quality protein. But I'll talk more about my sort of full nutrition stack at a later spot. Yeah, and then last night I just really focused on sleep. So usually my bedtime routine is, after a run I'll have a bath with some Epsom salts, head up to bed, use a massage gun, just kind of ease my legs off a little bit, work on a bit of abdominal breathing, a little bit of sort of white noise in there, and yeah, it helps me have a good night's sleep. I really have been focusing on that in the past couple of months, and I think it's made a big difference. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy your Sunday. Go out and get a bit of a walk, and yeah, right. See you later.